The day they cut the ribbon at the Sunny Ridge Resort, complete with champagne showers and drone cameras buzzing overhead. I stood there smiling like a fool. Not because I was happy, but because I knew something they didn't, that every inch of their glittering resort sat on a legal trap I'd been quietly setting for months. And the bait: my lake, my land. See, a few years back, I bought a peaceful patch of land by Willowbend Lake. Nothing fancy, just an acre of shoreline with a crooked old dock and a creaky fishing shack that leaned a little harder every time the wind blew. I'd spent 30 years saving every penny, skipping vacations, brown bagging lunches just to own something real. When I finally shook hands with the old-timer selling it, he told me one thing: respect the lake, and it'll respect you right back. And for a while, it did. Mornings were misty and quiet. Evenings were filled with starlight and the calls of loons. My neighbors were few, friendly, and mostly kept to themselves. But all that changed when a swarm of newcomers showed up with shiny SUVs, real estate buzzwords, and dreams of turning our lakefront into a country club. Leading the charge was Pierce Langston, a smooth-talking developer with a permanent tan and zero respect for boundaries. He pitched the idea of a homeowners association, the Willowbend Lakeside Alliance. Said it would protect our property values, preserve the natural beauty. What he didn't say was that he had already been buying up lots, one shell company at a time. When I refused to sign the HOA agreement, I thought that'd be the end of it. My deed was clean. No mention of an HOA. But Pierce had done his homework, or more like, rewritten the test. Hidden deep in the town's dusty bylaws was a clause that allowed an HOA to be enforced retroactively if a supermajority of landowners signed on. And thanks to his backdoor land grabs, Pierce had the numbers. Within weeks, I was being fined for everything: unauthorized vegetation, my wildflowers, an unsightly structure, which was my 80-year-old fishing shack, and my personal favorite, failure to contribute to community aesthetics. But that wasn't the worst part. Without warning, construction crews started hammering away on my shoreline. When I ran out to confront them, they waved permits in my face and claimed they were building a community fishing dock and picnic area right on my property. I called the county. They told me to take it up with the HOA. I called the HOA. They sent me a fee schedule. So, I stopped fighting with phone calls and started collecting evidence. Every violation notice, every piece of construction debris that ended up in my yard, every photo of contractors stomping through my wildflower beds, I documented it all. Then came the big reveal. Pierce announced a luxury event lodge, spa, and wedding venue right next to my land. I sat in the back of the town hall as people clapped and cheered, and all I could think was, go ahead. Build it. Pour every dime into it. Because what Pierce didn't know was that buried in the original 1890s township filings, untouched and legally binding, was a land covenant granting exclusive water rights to the owner of a specific strip of shoreline. My strip. It had passed from the original settlers to the old man who sold it to me. And now, to me. With that piece of paper, I controlled commercial access to the lake. Every dock, every boat, every event that touched the water, they all needed my consent. I hired a lawyer, a quiet beast named Diane Mercer, and we waited. Waited until the resort was finished, booked out, and bursting with investors and events. Then we dropped the legal hammer. Within days, cease and desist letters hit every inbox associated with the Willow Bend Alliance. Their wedding bookings canceled. Their boat rentals halted. Their revenue stream dead in the water. Pierce tried to fight back. Sued me. Claimed the covenant was outdated. Irrelevant. But that lawsuit backfired hard. During discovery, our legal team uncovered shady deals, forged votes, and misuse of HOA funds to finance the resort construction. The press had a field day. Property values nosedived. Homeowners revolted. Pierce vanished. Rumor has it he skipped town under a fake name. The resort, bought out by a national brand that offered me a sum so obscene I had to reread the number twice. I sold it. Every inch. And with the sale, I kept one clause: permanent access to a private canoe launch on the South Bank. Just for me. Now I spend my mornings paddling out onto a lake that's finally quiet again. The geese have returned. The fish are biting. And the only sign of the glittering resort dream is a rusting gate and a faded sign that reads, Sunny Ridge, closed for renovation. Some people fight battles with lawsuits. Others fight with fists. Me, I fought with patience, paperwork, and a century-old covenant. And in the end, I didn't just weenie outlasted them. If you've ever had to deal with a power-hungry HOA or watched your peaceful community be swallowed up by greed, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.